Okay, we are moving right along with lesson 15 problem set, and this is talking about being able to place any fraction on a number line. So we're going to start with number one, and number one says estimate to label the given fractions on the number line. Be sure to label the fractions at 0 and 1. Write the fractions above the number line. Draw a number bond to match your number line. So, for example, letter A, we want to start with 2/3. Okay, so we're going to divide our number line into thirds. We start with 0/3. So this would be, and just like in the video, we can whisper count 1/3, 2/3. So we're going to label 2/3. And in the number bond, we're using this fraction that they start with. So one of our number bond numbers is going to be 2/3. And then how many more thirds do we need to go to get to 1 whole? And that's 1/3. Let's take a look at letter B. This is fourths. So we're going to divide our line into fourths. If it's fourths, that means we need 3 lines, right? So let's label 0/4 and 4/4 because they want us to label 0 and 1. And now we're going to count until we get to 3/4. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. So we're going to label 3/4. And then we're going to come on over and make our number bond. So we're starting with 3/4. We started at 3/4. How many spaces, how many fourths did we have to go to get to 4/4? We went 3/4, 4/4. We went 1 more fourth. Go ahead and try letter C and then come on back and see if you are correct. Welcome back. Let's take a look at letter C. So we labeled 0/5, 3/5, and 5/5. And then our number bond, we started with 3/5, and then we counted, whisper counted 3/5, and then we had 1 more fifth and another fifth. So 2/5 is our missing number on our number bond. Let's go over and take a look at problem number 3. Problem number 3. For his boat, James stretched out a rope with 5 equally spaced knots as shown. They haven't asked us to do anything yet. They're just giving us information. Letter A. Starting at the first knot and ending at the last knot, how many equal parts are formed by the 5 knots? Label each fraction at the knot. So they're first asking us how many equal parts? Well, there's 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts. So there are 4 parts. If there are 4 parts, then we are talking about what fractional unit? Fourths. So let's go ahead and label 0/4, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. And you should be talking out loud to yourself as you're doing this. Now there's another part, so we labeled the fractions at the knot. Letter B says, what fraction of the rope is labeled at the 3rd knot? So now we're starting at the first knot, going to the 2nd knot, going to the 3rd knot, and that is 2/4. Letter C says, what if the rope had 6 equally spaced knots along the same length? What fraction of the rope would be measured by the first 2 knots? So what we can do is draw another number line. And this time we're going to make 6 knots. So there's one here, one at the end. So I need 4 in between. And I don't think I got them perfectly spaced, but that's okay. So what fraction of the rope would be measured by the first 2 knots? Well, we need to figure out how many equal parts we have. We have 1, 2, 3 parts, 4 parts, 5 parts. So that means we are talking about fifths. So the first 2 knots, 1/5, 2/5. I don't need to go any further. Here's a knot, here's a knot. They want the second knot, so it's 1/5. Lots of thinking goes into that. That's why we did it together. Boys and girls, keep this handy for the next thing, because you're going to have to do, you need to do the exit ticket, and you can use this as a reference.